Simple things before going towards the lecture. I want to discuss with you, all of you people, those who are listening and already know what the cyber security is. So, since we are actually in most preciously, we are learning the Python, and most of the people already know the cyber stuff actually. So, what I'm going to discuss, just as soon as Apas come, I will totally switch the situation actually, right? So, what I'm just giving you today's idea, what I am going to deliver you today, within 2 hours. Keep in mind and hold your horses, all of you people. And today we are going to learn a lot of things, and not even lot of things. We will run the code, and we'll see the code, how Python code will run, and how what are the Python codes and how they will work. So before going towards the code, we should install some engines where code will run, and I will introduce you to those engines. Engine means ID, integrated development environment, and I will take you up from the very basic of the programming language, and what is the language, and what are the basics of the any language and how they work. And I will briefly demonstrate you why the Python is most powerful language in all over the world actually, 99.9%, and demonstrate you. And the our and I also demonstrate or show you or maybe present you the collective working, that what are the modules and what we are going to learn in our modules, and on those modules what kind of code we are doing to code actually the programming we do, as we know the programming languages and how they work on. So this is our today's whole, you may say, actually understanding of the coding and the modules, actually the modules that we are going to learn and code actually. And what are the modules, or what are our objectives, we have already defined, and those objectives are here actually in this. Remember that we have the MAC address changer, the Python basic, right? And then we have another, uh, and then we have another. 1 second, let me make it the maximize. Programming for the network scanner, right? So this will be again a brief introduction about the scanning and how they will work, and then we'll write code on it, code on Python actually, how the things work actually. Now we have the Arp Spoofer. Then first we learn the Arp Spoofer, and then we'll understand the programming, and then we will write the code how to spoof our Arp address resolution protocol. The first we should know what is the packet sniffer, as we already know as a network engineer. How many of you work on Wireshark as a network engineer? Just in the LAN card, there are two modes: the normal modes and the promiscuous mode. To sniff all the packets, your LAN card should be converted into promiscuous modes, right? So this is the next stuff. DNS spoofer. Okay, what is the DNS spoofer? It's a simple introduction. Whenever you request, okay, everybody knows that you have an IP that released from the DSCP server, and then you have a DNS server. The DNS server is normally requested from the gateway actually. So DNS server, why we need a DNS server? Okay, or DNS spoofer. Remember, when you try to type a yahoo.com or facebook.com, it normally resolves the DNS to a DNS server. So when you try to spoof somebody's HTTP request in terms of Facebook, then you can hijack its user ID and password very easily. Remember, so by using the DNS spoofer, by capturing the packet, it means every another module is depending upon previous module. As you grow, you will understand how things are working, and how you can grow, and how you can hack the things. Hacking means you need to scan it and understand it and realize the packet, right? So this is what I am demonstrating you, the only the modules that we are working on. And keep in mind, every module has a Python code that I will going to show you at the end of the class, right? But in between the class,
Okay, let's move on another, then I'll let you know. Then web server hacking. Okay, how many of you know the HTTP traffic, the request and the response? Just say yes, no, be very fast. Or HTTP protocol. Okay, how many of you did the pure packet filtering on Palo Alto or any firewall? Go cyber, ROAOM. Cyber Room declared themselves as the 8-layer firewall, right? And you will be amazed at what is the 8 layer. Okay, let's move on. We don't stick ourselves into firewalls. We should stick to ourselves in agendas. Okay, what is a web server injection bypassing? Oh, okay, if you know very well web server, how they communicate and how they come and go, then you can understand the web server hacking. But there is one glitch here. Before understanding the web server hacking, you people have to go a very good or very much understanding, deep understanding, or you may say in very negative terms, in a very painful way of understanding the web server crackings. Because if you don't know the JavaScript, if you don't know the HTTP request, how they come in and come out, then you cannot understand the HTTP response. So Khair, we'll move on to this one. So then if you know the web server working and how they respond and response out, then you can cross site script attack on it. Then you can find the vulnerability. Okay, keep it one more thing. You must install OWASP, Open Web Application Security Protocol. Everybody should learn this thing by themselves. It is an open standard of web injection and web penetration simple tool or simple process. Bbox. Amir, I don't know Bbox, what it is. There are things that sometimes I don't know. Linux version can have OS actually. Okay. Now server bypassing and injection. This is another tough stuff to understand. And then another we have basic advanced level of the execution. Okay. So everything that I have here that I'm trying to mention you have a Python code actually. Okay. So that means that my point of sharing you means that everybody here know the basics of networking, right? Basics of networking, right? That means everybody know the source and the destination IP addresses, right? So that means I do not need to show how things route, how network behave, right? That I do not need to tell you, all of you people, right? So what I'm going to tell you directly what is our purpose of here is 90% is based upon is Python coding. I hope everybody would agree on that. So when you know the Python coding and how to code it and how to run it, then it's easy to understand everybody that how things work. Now there's another way around. If you know how things work, then you can code, or you can code and then it's deeply you can understand how things work. I think this is the better way, right? I think this is the fast